Welcome to Sister Scoot, where we are with you guys and bringing you the top Marvel news of the week. I almost said top 3, but we have 4 today, so that's why I stumbled. We have to just start with, we had the Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer, second one drop, which we will not go into it. We don't have the time for it, quite frankly. This is not going to be 10 minutes of us talking about it, though it could be, because kind of blew open what we got from the last trailer, and
Yeah.
yeah.
I need to revisit trailer 1, sit with trailer 2, do some research because I feel like now, I have questions and I need to check into some storylines and I need to do some deep dives. So that is all like in our pre-prep for the movie as well. So we're going to be prepping way ahead for this one because the trailers have been really interesting for this movie.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, we can't spend the time doing it. Because we will spend the entire episode and then some going over it. But just know we did get a new Spider-Man trailer. If you are living under a rock, go watch it. It's good. If you're trying to avoid it, understandable just as much. I would actually avoid this one if you've seen the first one because might as well not even bother watching the first one after seeing the second one because I just feel like it's changed so much of the game. So, do what you will with that information. But
tickets are also available, so make sure you're getting your tickets as well.
Yes, true. In the same vein, we have a little bit of other Spider-Man news, which is a little strange considering we are only just starting the beginning of a second trilogy. Supposedly?
Yeah. All right, let's dive into this. So originally the news was that Tom Holland is potentially, throwing some names out there for who he wants to be as the next Spider-Man. In the past, he's talked about it maybe being a Miles Morales, a Spider-Woman, a Spider-Gwen. Now he's also talking about potentially Owen Cooper, who is probably most known for the show Adolescence. I personally haven't seen it, but I know he's done really well on a lot of the award circuits for that show. Is Tom's pick for the next Spidey if he had to, name names. And then I saw something today that made me really nervous because Destin Daniel Cretton came out and was like, you should probably watch this movie as if it's the last Spider-Man movie. Don't say those words to me, sir, please. I am stressing. So there's just like with a lot of Tom's comments, like I know now that he and Zendaya have married, like he's mentioned in the past, like once that happens, like he's ready to go be a dad and just like sail off into the sunset. I love that for him. I love that everything is happening for him. I think he's got another 10 years of Spider-Man left in him. So I'm really stressed by all of this news. And don't love it. Don't love it.
I think my bigger take or like my bigger issue with this whole take is it has nothing really to do with him, but the actual Spider-Man content that we've gotten from Marvel. We are finally just starting to kind of turn the corner on getting like true Spider-Man-esque storylines and, him as the character that we kind of all know a little bit more from even just like growing up watching the cartoons and things like that. There's been a lot of complaints about his version that we've seen so far in the MCU, the original trilogy. Obviously, No Way Home was amazing. Let's not pretend it wasn't, but it also was amazing because we had all 3 Spider-Men. Let's paint what it is. And at the end of the day, that trilogy got a lot of hate because of how involved it was in the MCU and with Iron Man and everything of that nature. We are trying to do away with that in whatever Brand New Day is going to give us. And instead, I feel like hearing all of this is frustrating to me because it's like, then why do we even do this? Because let's not forget, love or hate Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, love or hate his second movie. Tom Holland was named Spider-Man for the MCU, like pretty sure it was like the same year that second Amazing Spider-Man came out.
Yeah, it was like within like I think 18 months.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they did actually like semi-overlap as Spider-Man. And so therefore, if this is what we're gonna do, I honestly it was like just let Sony have like finished off what they were doing with Andrew, because at least there was like more Spider-Man like characteristics to his story than there have been so far with Tom's.
Well, and look, this was like 12 years ago, 10, 12 years ago. Like, they could have never necessarily predicted that they were going to go the multiversal route, but we've also now made it possible to have multiple Spider-Men simultaneously, as we obviously saw in No Way Home. So it doesn't, to your point, you could have continued, like, you know, having the Amazing Spider-Man 3, which people are still fighting for. And I mean, look, you know, fight for it all you want. I think it would be great, actually. I do. You know, and these can all kind of exist in the same realm.
Yeah.
As much as I am stressed by this, there is a part of me that's like, you know, Secret Wars is coming. If there's any time to do it, it's now.
Fair.
And to reboot the character. I personally think that we should be switching to Miles Morales. You all know
at this point, yes,
that
we've had 3 Spider-Men. Yes.
Well, yeah, and you all know that I've been pushing for Miles in live action for probably like years now. I think that's and Miles does come into, if I'm remembering Secret Wars correctly, Miles does come into 616 via Secret Wars. That's how that happens, because he's in obviously a different universe than what we see in the main continuity. So to me, that's the perfect moment to bring him in. I would be really upset if we chose to go with yet another Peter Parker instead of a Miles Morales. I just like, and when aren't we getting across Beyond the Spider-Verse next year? So like, that's gonna wrap up. The hype around Miles is gonna be huge again. So like, that's gonna be reignited because that's gonna be fresh. Everybody's gonna be re-pumped up by how amazing those films are. So let's bring Miles into live action. Like that's my preferred path forward. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm just kind of more on the annoyed side right now, because it's like, then why'd we go where we went? We should just wrapped up with No Way Home then. Like, low-key, if we're not going to get an actual trilogy of him being like the version of Spider-Man I think they hinted at him being finally, then it's like, okay.
I'm not annoyed yet, because I would like to see how they finish this film. Like, if they're able to finish it and put a bow on it and be like, this is Spider-Man.
No. I'm annoyed.
I'm willing to give them the benefit of the doubt. I have a lot of trust in Destin Daniel Cretton as a director, and I think, and Tom as someone who loves their character so much. So for me, it's like I'm willing to give these guys the benefit of the doubt, because I think they're both really locked in on good storytelling, and that's why, like, if it was a different creative team, I'd be a little more nervous. But these guys, I'm with them until I'm not, and we'll just put it that way.
All right, sure. I'll let you have it. I don't agree. I have a lot more annoyance in me, but I'm going to let T take this one because I know she wants to talk about it. So go ahead.
Y'all. Okay. So this news came across my feed and the scream I scrumped. Okay. So Connor Storrie of Heated Rivalry fame, otherwise known as the man who brought Ilya Rozanov to life, is potentially MCU-bound, potentially playing hulkling, being eyed for hulkling, which, as you know, is the romantic partner of Billy Maximoff in the comics, as part of what a lot of people are thinking is probably going to be the champions in the next, whenever they do this. I love this. Connor Storrie is such a good actor. I'm kind of shocked that he would do something like the MCU. He seems to gravitate towards more like indie and like, I don't want to say this in a bad way, but more like artistic projects, I think, is kind of the way that people have characterized like the types of projects he likes to work on. That said, I'm thrilled. I'm so excited. I love Connor Storrie. Bring him in. Let's do it. This makes me so happy.
I don't really have much to follow up on with that, because I knew she was going to want to do that. The only thing I will say was, when I was first looking at it, because T sends me some of like the final topics, and I'm like, oh, like, weird, because I feel like every big name is always tied to something with Marvel, especially lately. So I was like, you know, like, who could he play? And when I went to do my research and they were like hulkling, I was like, oh, okay. Like, I was like,
but like, that's perfect. It makes sense.
Like, all right, never mind that. Like, I'm fine with it. Obviously, I have nothing against him at all. I just was like, oh, another, like, you know, big up and coming name, or just big current name that I'm like, now we're adding another one to the MCU. And then I was just like, nah, all right, I'm not even mad. So, I mean, we'll have to see. We obviously still do need Hulkling. We don't know anything yet moving forward with that group kind of as a whole. Right. Obviously, there's been some interesting rumors surrounding that group with Secret Wars and Doomsday and things of that nature. But, I mean, considering we're getting Doomsday in like 6 months, I'm sure we would have had some more knowledge of some of these castings prior. So we'll see how it pans out. But we also have another name that's not new, but returning possibly. Not gonna lie, I had to look up who this was because I literally was like, couldn't tell you. Because I didn't watch this season of Iron Fist. Jessica Henwick, who I do know becomes Iron Fist in the second season, could be returning to the MCU. The only bow I have to put on this one is if now's going to be the time, do it. Or if it's going to be a time, do it now with Secret Wars, with everything. Because we've already had the rumors that, can't remember his actual name, but Danny would be returning as well. I think there's been a lot of question of like, that doesn't really make sense if you deal with the second season of Iron Fist, which was crap, which is why I didn't watch it.
It was bad.
So, yeah. So I think it's kind of interesting, but now's kind of also the time to do it.
Yeah, this one is an interesting one. She said she would, and just want to clarify, she said she would return if, the narrative was right. She's also very funny. She was like campaigning for a revamped suit. She was like, yeah, maybe something a little cooler next time. Like, okay, girl, like shoot your shot. I love it. Yeah, I think knowing that Danny is going to be in season 3 of Born Again, that we've seen him on set, we know that's confirmed. It is a little bit like, we know he has a relationship with Luke, like they're friends. We've seen them interacting already in set photos, but he's not Iron Fist. So Danny is an amazing martial artist without the Iron Fist. So I don't want to take that away from him, but like, what other value is Danny bringing at this point? And then why would we then exclude the current Iron Fist? So I would like to see her back just to even tie up the loose end. I think it makes a lot of sense. If we're going to go all in on the Defenders, we got to go all in on the Defenders. I mean, bring back Misty Knight. Like, where are we? Let's go. So I just think there's a lot of, it would make a lot of sense, I should say, to bring her back. And she was great in the role. So I would love to see her kind of back in the fam.
Yeah. So another one that we could see come back, again, time to do it. We've got a lot of open space when it comes to Doomsday and Secret Wars and just the multiverse falling apart. So why not? Everybody can come join the party as far as we're concerned. So we'll see. I feel like that's how we end a lot of these. We'll see how this goes for everything and everyone involved. But this has been this week's Sister Scoop. Make sure you guys are joining us again next week as we tackle more Marvel news topics of the week. And of course, make sure you're listening to us on the podcast side as well, because there's a lot of great content coming at you there. But we'll be back next week. See ya.